The night wind slips through weathered wooden fences, carrying with it a chill and the damp, earthy scent characteristic of the English countryside. Beneath the faint glow of the moon, the gardens behind seemingly quiet homes conceal an entirely different rhythm of life. When people have shut their doors and turned off their lights, a silent predator begins to emerge, the red fox. Without a sound, without warning, it glides along familiar paths as if every shadow, every gap between the bushes has long been committed to memory. At first, everything appears as scattered signs. A torn garbage bag, a few small footprints pressed into soft soil, or a fleeting rustle in the night. But over time, these clues gradually assemble into a clearer picture. The fox does not merely pass through, it returns. Repeating the same route, at the same time, with remarkable precision. What makes controlling foxes complex is not their number, but their memory and adaptability. A single successful food discovery can bring them back dozens of times afterward. A minor oversight, an unsecured chicken coop, a forgotten tray of food, can become an anchor point in their behavioral map. Foxes do not act on instinct alone, they behave as though they are testing the environment. If it is safe, they push further. If danger appears, they disappear, but not entirely, they simply change their approach. For this reason, trapping does not begin with setting devices, but with reading the landscape. Experienced individuals may spend several nights simply observing. They track footprints, identify entry and exit points, and note where the fox lingers longer than usual. Infrared cameras are discreetly positioned, not only to confirm presence, but to decode movement patterns, when the fox appears, which direction it takes, and most importantly, where it lets its guard down. Once behavioral patterns become clear, choosing the trap location becomes decisive. With foxes, more traps do not mean greater effectiveness. A poorly placed trap may be detected and avoided immediately. But if it is positioned along a path the fox has traveled dozens of times, a narrow trail by a fence, a gap beneath dense shrubs, it will almost disappear from the animal's perception. Not because it is perfectly hidden, but because it exists exactly where the fox believes is safe.
Which happens sometimes. Be careful. There, not latch it set. Make sure this is here fairly solid. Seems to be.
However, the right location alone is not enough. Scent is often underestimated, yet it is the key to successful trapping. The smell of new metal, traces of human presence, or even disturbed soil can cause the animal to hesitate or change direction. Therefore, equipment is carefully treated before use, cleaned, aired outdoors, and coated with local soil to blend into the surroundings. The trap is not placed as a foreign object, but planted into the environment, as if it has always been there.
That's not gonna get caught. Force him down. Pretty dang hard.
Timing is equally critical. Foxes tend to operate on stable cycles, appearing at nearly fixed hours. Setting a trap too early may alter the environment before they arrive. Setting it too late may miss the crucial moment. When all factors are aligned, the correct route, the right placement, naturally camouflaged equipment, and precise timing, the moment happens within seconds, so quickly it is almost imperceptible. Catching a fox does not necessarily mean the problem is solved. For this animal, every encounter becomes a lesson. If one escapes, it will become more cautious, alter its route, and may even avoid the entire area for an extended period. Therefore, an effective strategy does not lie in repeated attempts, but in getting it right from the very beginning. As the boundary between humans and nature continues to shrink, such encounters become more common than ever. Yet rather than direct confrontation, the most effective approach remains understanding the opponent. With foxes, this is not a chase, but a battle of wits, where patience, observation, and precision determine the outcome. And in the stillness of suburban nights, where everything seems to be at rest, that game continues, quietly, slowly, yet always calculated.
At first, no one thought the small signs would lead to a silent crisis. Just a few disturbances on the ground, a few animals disappearing in the night. Everything was easy to overlook. But then, like an undercurrent slowly rising, the attacks began to appear more frequently. Pens were broken, overlapping tracks formed invisible paths, and after only a few nights, the damage was enough to shake any farm. As the pressure grew, familiar measures were quickly put in place. Fences were raised higher, nets were tightened, lights and alarm systems were installed everywhere. In the early days, everything seemed effective, but that sense of stability did not last long. The intruders adapted faster than expected, changing their approach, even using the very defenses to find new ways in. The confrontation gradually shifted from reaction to strategy. When passive solutions were no longer enough to maintain balance, a more proactive approach had to emerge. Direct control through traps, a method that always comes with controversy. For some, it is the final line of defense to protect their livelihood. For others, it is a boundary that must be carefully considered from an ethical perspective. But reality does not wait for perfect agreement. As the damage continues to rise, action becomes the only option. The first position is usually along a movement corridor, where tracks repeat almost every night. It could be the edge of a forest bordering farmland, or a small dirt path leading to a water source. Here, the trap is not placed randomly, but hidden exactly at the point the wolf is forced to step through. A seemingly unconscious step, yet it is the intersection of an entire chain of prior observations. Positions like these determine most of the plan's success. The second position is completely different, located near areas where prey has been attacked before. Not at the center, but at the outer edge, where the wolf often pauses to observe before approaching. This is a sensitive zone, requiring a high level of precision. The trap is set low, concealed, and nearly blends into the ground, while the scent is just enough to maintain curiosity without signaling danger. If the first position relies on movement habits, the second exploits hunting instincts, an even harder weakness to control. Safety is not just a principle, but a requirement. Operators approach from downwind, use gloves, and minimize any trace left behind. After the trap is triggered, inspections are carried out strictly according to protocol. This is not a single action, but a chain of disciplined steps, where any mistake can lead to unpredictable consequences. Over time, these efforts begin to show clear results. Attacks gradually decrease, the pace of disruption slows, and areas once repeatedly invaded begin to stabilize. More importantly, control is no longer the responsibility of a few individuals, but becomes a coordinated system, where information is shared, experience is accumulated, and strategies are continuously refined. In many major cities around the world, such models have been implemented for years. Instead of waiting for problems to arise, long-term plans are built on surveys, monitoring, and community education. After all, wildlife is not the enemy. They are simply adapting to the changes created by humans. And within that adaptation, a larger question emerges. As the boundary between nature and human life continues to blur, what path will we choose to coexist? A fast but rigid solution, or a sustainable approach that requires time and deeper understanding? Perhaps the answer does not lie in the trap itself, but in how we perceive our role within the ecosystem. Because in the end, this space does not belong to humans alone. It is where two worlds are learning to exist side by side.